This video is brought to you by MUBI. Welcome back everybody to another monthly favorites. Let's start with some updates. So on saramwrap.com I added a found section, which is a lot of antiques and thrifted items that I've found. I've collected so many things and I just don't have that much space in my house, so although I love collecting these things, I can't really keep them for myself. So I decided to list them on Saran Wrap so you can get a better idea of the things that I love in my home. The reason why I want to add it to my site is because I made a decision to slow down on production and focus on making things more for myself, and then eventually find my style and then eventually get back into production. So I did make some new things. I'm really excited about this. I made a pestle and mortar. It's nice and heavy and the bowl is wide so I can make chimichurris, different sauces and pastes. And this one I made out of recycled clay so I could see specks of pink from past projects and specks of darker and lighter clay. So it's pretty exciting. I'm also working on a fermentation crock. It was drying out for the last 2 weeks and now it's in the bisque firing. So I'm gonna get it out pretty soon and then I'll be able to glaze it and move on with the project. But I'm really excited about that because I've been trying to make one since 2020 and I never gave myself time to make one. I was just so intimidated by it. So what I did was 4 years ago, I broke it down by individual steps and then assembled everything together in like 6 different parts. So I'm really looking forward to that and I hope it turns out nice. And the first thing I want to make with it is hot sauce. A ceramic item that I did get recently though is this right here. This is from a person named Max Tamola and I remember seeing this on the glaze shelf. Actually, it was placed on the wrong shelf. I grabbed it from the shelf and I kissed it. I was like, I love this so much. Next thing I know, they put it on my shelf and now it's in my kitchen and I love it so much. And I was able to track down the person who made this. Their account is on private, so I don't think that they're trying to do this for a living. So there's 3 different faces on it. And the glaze is kind of crackly on some parts, drippy on other parts, and there's just so much color and character. I knew right away what I wanted to use this for, so it's holding all my wooden spoons right now. I took some really good photos of it immediately because I didn't want anything to happen to the memory of that piece. Oh my gosh, Maddie and I were featured on the Substack called The Molehill, and it's with Viv the Mole on Instagram. I love her. I love her videos, her like styling videos. She's so adorable, and she reached out to interview us about our friendship. And so we wrote this kind of Q&A situation. We threw it back and forth and then she posted it on Monday and it's just so cute. I love her Substack and she's constantly posting new articles. And she wrote one recently about the Echo Park Craft Fair in, I believe, 2017 and how that's like a completely different world because that's 7 years ago and every 7 years you're a completely new person cellularly, right? So she was talking about how the Echo Park Craft Fair was a place to go to get inspiration and Rachel Comey was like the queen and cam pants were everywhere. I'll leave a link to it in the description obviously if you want to read it. Jessica Pratt's new album Here in the Pitch came out earlier this month and I've been listening to it on repeat. I think the first couple weeks that it came out, I just listened to the album the entire day, like over and over and over again. And then now I'm listening to it at least once a day. I think it's fantastic. And it's only, I don't know, like 30 minutes, only 9 songs. I think all her albums are pretty short. This, in my opinion, is my favorite album from her. In the past, she's done a lot of like different voices, like some really nasally voices, some really creepy voices and stuff. This album, however, she does sing in her higher pitch, like heady voice, but I don't know. There's something different about it. There's some really sad songs, some really nice, like happy cafe type songs. I'll put 2 songs in the description that I absolutely love right now. To me, this album has a 60s folk singer-songwriter vibe, but a little bit more broadcast, like the band broadcasts. It's just different from all the other albums, in my opinion, and I really like it, and I've been listening to it on repeat, and I haven't felt this way about an album in a long time. And I tried to buy it, and it's sold out in stores. The place that I called said that they just reordered it, so they put one on hold for me, but I think it's been selling really quickly because people really enjoy this one. Jessica Pratt, if you haven't heard of her, her other albums are fantastic as well. But this one in particular, I think is her best work. I recently discovered Eyewitness Podcasts, which is with the person from Necessaire who created Necessaire and also this woman who used to be in Into the Gloss and Glossier, two beauty fanatics who work in the industry and they love beauty. They talk about their favorite products at the end of every episode, so they're beauty junkies. But then they also talk about working in the industry and interview different people who work in the industry. And it's all so fascinating because I've been in this industry or working around adjacent to that industry for so long now, and I don't know, this is kind of like gossip, to me. So it's really enjoyable to me. But my favorite part of every episode is when they talk about their favorite products that they're really into at the moment. So I'm only at like a few episodes deep. I'm starting from the very beginning. So like during the pandemic, basically, when they first started the podcast. And then I'm like working my way through slowly. So the timestamps are a little bit off. I know I'm pretty behind sticking to that timeline and everything, but I don't know, I'm enjoying it so far. Eyewitness Beauty is a beauty and pop culture podcast by industry insiders Annie Kreinbaum and Nick Axelrod-Welk. So Annie is the one who used to work at Into the Gloss and then eventually at Glossier. And then Nick is the one who does Necessaire. And on the subject of Necessaire, oh my gosh, these shampoos, or the shampoo and conditioner, Rosemary, these launched, I want to say about a month ago. I don't wash my hair every day. I wash it maybe every 4 to 5 days, but I always look forward to it because I get to use these. They lightly clarify your hair, which is important because if you're using products like heat styling products or mousses or gels or pomades, which I do, you need to clarify your hair to take off all the buildup and everything in order for everything else to work well. I've been loving this and I love the smell of it, and I believe it's sold out on Sephora. It might be back in stock, but if you can get a hold of this, if you can get a whiff of this actually, go for it because it smells so good. It doesn't quite smell like rosemary to me. I do smell a little bit of rosemary, but it's not overwhelmingly rosemary to me. It's not like Noxzema, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like if Le Labo were to have a shampoo and conditioner, they probably do. They would make something like this. I get a haircut every 6 months or so, maybe sometimes longer, by this woman named Daisy who works at a hair salon in Highland Park called Miro Miro. She's been my hairstylist for, well, since before the pandemic. She's great. She's also Camilla's hairstylist. That's how I met her. This time around, when she did it, I don't know, there's something about it. Like, I think it's because I've been brushing my hair so much lately with a boar brush that my hair feels a lot healthier. And this time around when she cut it, it just felt like I lost a ton of weight or something, like off my hair, and everything just flows better, it dries nicer. I've been having good hair days only since having her cut my hair a few weeks ago. She does a really good job. If you're in Highland Park, check her out. I'll leave her Instagram down below. The way she cuts it, I've heard from multiple different people that when they air dry it, it just flows nicely. I washed my hair last night and I still smell the shampoo in my hair, though it's like very light. It's not overwhelming, which I do appreciate. I love the smell of this. I wish they would make a perfume of this smell because I would just douse myself in it. But what I have been dousing myself with lately is this right here. This is from Puppet Parfum. I did a market a few weeks ago and this woman selling perfume popped up, and this one in particular, it's called 100% Magic. It caught my attention because she said it has Szechuan peppercorn in it. So I took a whiff of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally smell it immediately. It's so comforting, and the Szechuan peppercorn like really caught my attention. I love the packaging too. It kind of reminds me of CDG or something. But let me read the notes for you. Okay, so the notes are bright Szechuan peppercorn, Italian bergamot, hot sponge sugar, sparkly warm skin, velvety sandalwood, earthy patchouli. This she made in celebration of her 30th birthday. I love this, like especially right out of the shower, spraying it on like directly onto my skin and then wearing it throughout the day and just getting like little whiffs of it throughout the day. It's so nice. And then also it lasts long in your hair too. So I recently learned that trick to spray perfume directly in your hair. I feel like I'm talking like this a lot because I have these rings on. These are from De La Fuente. So I've had this ring, which is called the perfume ring, for a while now. And I didn't know why it was called the perfume ring. So there's a bead that is hollow and there's a little hole at the very bottom, and what you're supposed to do, you know how back in the day when people are like, oh, hello, and then like a gentleman like kisses their hand or whatever, they take a whiff of their hand, there's perfume in the ring, right? So what they do is they take a piece of cotton, they soak it in whatever perfume, and then they stick it into this hole. And so when you hold your hand up, it smells like that perfume. That's why it's called a perfume ring. But I recently got this ring right here, which is, I use it as a signet ring. It's just a silver ring. I've always been a gold girl. Recently, I got into silver and wearing silver along with gold because I'm seeing more people doing that. Yeah, I really like it. I love silver and I have a lot of silver, so I'm glad that I'm finally going back into it. I love the way it looks. It just makes me feel so feminine. On the subject of De La Fuente, I've talked about this hat before. I've had this hat, but I've worn it with a different band. It comes with this braided silk band, but she has this ribbon on other hats, so I decided to switch it over, and I don't know. I think it completely changes up the look of the hat, but it makes it so cute because this band is an accessory on its own. So it's kind of like wearing, to me, it's kind of like wearing a bow tie. But then also other women on her website wear it kind of crisscross. So rather than in the front like this, they cross it and they tie it in the back. So it's a cleaner look. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with this hat. And I think eventually I'm going to switch it out to an all black thick bow like this. I just recently switched back to wearing a retinol every day. So I do have to wear sun coverage every day. And I've been walking 3 to 4-ish miles also every day, so wearing a hat is helpful, obviously, for direct sunlight exposure, and also it keeps the sun off me so I'm not as hot, and it just feels so like cute and, I don't know, feminine. De La Fuente, she has other hats too that I love, but this one in particular, the really wide brim, is fantastic, and it also comes in black too, so yeah, very cute. Oh my gosh, so I have to talk about this. So I've been wearing these shoes. They're rubber shoes that people wear in ceramics all the time, but it was featured on Bodie's runway a few years ago, and since then it kind of blew up. They're just like plastic gardening shoes that a lot of ceramicists wear. I have mentioned that you should probably get an insole for them because they do run big. Hey Sanu, are you okay? So they do run big, so you should probably get an insole for it. But I recently got an insole from this brand called Fulton, which I've received a lot of Instagram ads for, and they were talking about how their insoles have cork in them, so I got a pair. They're life-changing. There's a bit more material like in the arch area, so it gives me a lot of support. It feels amazing. You know how a lot of people talk about how Dansk, the clogs, feel good? I think it's because of the cork insole, and these are cork insoles that can go in any shoe. They're meant for someone who overpronates or does the opposite. I don't know what the other thing is, but I absolutely overpronate whenever I walk, and my shoes wear in from the inside. Over time, if you continue to overpronate or the opposite, it really messes up your knees, and it works its way up to your hips, to your back, your lower back, all the way up to just your whole body, right? Because it really messes up your posture. And so I was really interested in this because I've been walking a lot every day, and I want to know that my body's in line. Have you ever walked on cork before? Cork floors? It just feels amazing. It like really feels like you're walking on gel or something. And that's how this feels every day, but there's a bit more support, obviously. So yeah, it holds your body up and it just like realigns your posture. I love these insoles and I'm definitely gonna get more. I got this water bottle a little over a month ago. I get so many compliments on it. I have a lot of Nalgene's, but this is the one that I've been reaching for the most because it's glass on the inside and then wrapped in this rubbery silicone so that it keeps it safe. So you're basically drinking from a glass cup. And then there's a silicone straw that has a little bit of a bite to it. It's almost like a big noodle. Obviously you can switch it out to different straws, like glass straws and stuff. At first I didn't think I would like this like silicone straw because when I was drinking from it, I was getting my lipstick on it. But they do offer a ton of different colors. But over time, I realized that's kind of like a good thing that I keep getting my lipstick on it because it reminds me to wash it every day, right? This has been making me drink a lot more water, especially when I'm like on the go or at work or at the studio where like things can get into your cup. Like if you leave your water bottle open or if you have a mug or a cup, like sand can get in or clay can get in. And this is just an easy way to access your water without having it exposed. So yeah, I really love this, and I think it's so cute. I have the brown color. There's a bunch of different colors. I want to get the brown straw next so that it matches, but really this fits any straw. And I have other like metal straws that I can fit in here too. Pink water bottles, they're just so cute. In my last video, I talked about this donabe pot. It's from this brand called Lakale, and I'm so excited about this because I've made multiple donabe pots in the past because donabe pots are so expensive if you were to go out to a store and buy one. I actually bought one a couple of years ago from a workshop that I took. It's an investment, and I do use it a lot, so I think it's worth the investment. This one is only $50. I think it's $51, and I have a discount that you can get 15% off. So it ends up being like hella cheap, and it's a donabe pot. Like, it's perfect. It's nice and big. The ones that I've been making are tiny because I don't have that skill set yet. This is so cool, and I'm so excited about this. So I just wanted to share here because it's like the deal of a lifetime for someone like me who loves cooking with a donabe pot. Lakale, they have other Japanese ceramics and home goods things too, like chopsticks, spoons, mugs, bowls, different sets. But the donabe pots, that's the most exciting thing for me. Oh, okay. A few years ago, I bought a humidifier and I loved it. When I first moved to Northeast LA, it was so dry. Like moving from Long Beach where it's closer to the water, it's more humid, plants are lush, everything's kind of green and consistent. Where I live now currently, I've been living since 2015, like around this area since 2015, and it's so dry. So when I first moved to Northeast LA, I bought a humidifier and it was life-changing. Like all my plants were thriving, everything was great. Then I went away on vacation. When I came back, the humidifier was so moldy and just disgusting, and I was just creeped out. So I never bought one ever again until I came across this one right here, which is from a brand called Canopy. And the great thing about it, I'm gonna pull it over. The great thing about this is that it comes apart, and then you can put everything, like there's a little bit of water in here, but you can put everything in your dishwasher if you have a dishwasher, but I don't have a dishwasher, so I just hand wash everything. So you wash the tray, you wash this thing, and then this you can just wipe down, and there's a filter in here so that you can see what's going on in your situation. I've had this for about a month, and I mean, it doesn't look so bad. There's also a little stone that you can put on top and then put your essential oils in there, and it kind of just diffuses the house or the room with that scent. I have this next to my bed, this essential oil right here. It's called Salt Cave. It's my favorite. This is the one that I've been using the most, and I've also been taking this and running it out to my car and then just putting it on the floor mats of my car. The scent is so clean and relaxing. It kind of reminds me of the clean laundry smell. So that's Canopy. I've seen them on Violet Grey, which is kind of like a classier Sephora. They're known for their shower heads, but I really wanted a humidifier, and I love the appeal of this one because you can take it apart and clean it easily. So I'm glad I got this one. A few weeks ago, I was house sitting for Serene Wu, and while I was there for a few days, I went thrifting around her neighborhood, and oh my gosh, I came home with so many treasures. And then I found this, which I have another basket, plasticky basket like this, but it fell apart. But this one, it was only $5, and I got it right away because I just get so much use out of these baskets. They're great for groceries. I've been carrying this to work every day because I can fit my laptop in here and my lunch and notebook and just everything. And it stands up, so if you bring it to a grocery store, you can load everything in. I think this is gonna be great for the beach because it's kind of holey at the bottom, so I don't have to worry about sand. It's nice and light. There's no brand marking on it, but I'll do a reverse image search and find out who makes this or find something similar for you guys. This has been my everyday carry-all. I feel like I got so lucky because it was $5, and then that day they happened to be selling everything for half off, so it's like $2.50, whereas the other plastic one that I bought was like $40, which still isn't bad because I used it to death. But Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. A few years ago, I had a black wallet from CDG that looked exactly like this, and I ended up giving it to my sister because I got this red wallet from Minor History. I really like this because it reminds me of one of those red envelopes that you get during the Lunar New Year. And I remember someone telling me that if you have a red wallet, then you're more mindful of your spending, or you respect it more. So, yeah, you end up saving more money, or you have it on your brain a little bit more. Anyway, I switched wallets for the last few years to a different wallet, and I feel like subconsciously it made me think about other things, which is a good thing also, but I want to get back into thinking about money a bit more, or being more careful with my money, or saving more, or just like bringing it in more, being more conscious of it, or maybe really just respecting it more. So I got a red wallet again. It's only been a couple weeks and I've started being a bit more aware of my spending, saving more money, putting money away, and then getting more jobs. Maybe having something red like brings attention to it, you know? Anyway, I love this wallet because it has this little flap on the inside, this little pocket that you can put coins in. I don't have any coins in there. Oh no, I have one coin in there. I just love this wallet. I think it's so cute and such a chic design. I'm glad it's back in my life. Last thing I have here are my Empties. So these aren't necessarily Empties. I've just had them in my collection for so long, and since having them in my collection, they've gone through different, like, not rebrands, but repackaging. I pulled these out the other day. I'm like, yo, I should probably toss these because they're so old. But these are the Kosas 10-second eyeshadows. I have the newer packaging also, and I was swatching all the colors and I'm like, whoa, these don't last as long as the new ones either. But yeah, this one is, they look like they're the exact same colors, but they're not. This one's Globe, and I think the other one's Strobe. I'm not sure. Just two bronzy colors that now look the same, but I swear they were different colors before. The little tag keeps falling off. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. I've been wearing these bigger cardigans a lot. I think this one's gonna be great for the summer because it's nice and loose. So whenever I do go to the beach is great because it's hot all day, but then towards the end of the day it gets like really cold. So you want something loose and something that kind of goes on like this rather than over the head. I've had this hoodie that I've been using for that purpose, and I'm glad I got this because it's nice and big and I can just wear it like a blanket, you know? So, I mean, it's starting to get warmer, but the last couple weeks in LA in the morning, it's just been so gloomy. So I've been wearing this kind of like a robe, and it's just nice and cozy. It smells really good. It feels like home. It's just like a comfort blanket to me. And then I have another one that I've been wearing a lot also. It's from Lucy and Yak. And every time I wear this, I get so many compliments on it. And the reason why I got this was because it reminds me of something Kurt Cobain would wear, like a cardigan. It's 100% organic cotton. Lucy and Yak, they just do such an amazing job with their stuff. Every time I wear their pieces, I feel like it smells really good. It retains this really nice smell to it. So I end up reaching for it a lot. But yeah, I love this cardigan, and also this one from Callahan. That's it. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Any suggestions, any favorites of the month, please let me know. This video is brought to you by MUBI, a curated streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe. Get a whole month free at mubi.com/Christine. From iconic directors to emerging auteurs, there is always something new to discover. With MUBI, each and every film is hand-selected by its team of curators. Discover the best of cinema at your fingertips, streaming anytime, anywhere. There's Always Vanilla is a film from 1971 that I recently watched. The reason why I wanted to share this is because I love the 60s and 70s style, and I love looking at photos of my parents of that time, what they wore, the coloring of everything. So watching this made me feel like I was in that time. The music, people's tone of voice, the attitudes, even the lifestyles of the characters, the cars. I want to tell you guys the plot without giving too much away, so I'm trying to find something that sounds right. There's Always Vanilla follows the life of Chris Bradley, a former U.S. Army soldier who has become a drifter and makes money by various means, from pimping to guitar playing. So in the beginning, actually the opening scene is like super cool, but in the beginning you can see him kind of working, like making music at a studio, like writing for other people or like playing for other people. After working with a band in New York City, Chris returns to his home city of Pittsburgh and visits his father, who owns and operates a baby food factory. After an evening out with his father of drinking at a local bar and visiting an old girlfriend named Terry Terrific, Mr. Bradley wants Chris to abandon his bohemian lifestyle to do what was agreed upon when he separated from the military, return to his family business, but Chris refuses. Anyway, he makes a model girlfriend, gets her pregnant. I don't want to give too much away, but the story's not the important part. I think the clothing, the styling, the music, the way they talk, that's all really interesting, so it's worth a watch. If you want to escape into that time period, which is like over 50 years ago, isn't that crazy? If you want to travel back in time, visit that movie on MUBI. Again, everything will be linked in the description. Thank you again, MUBI, for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.